in there. It's that.
Are we on?
Yep, we're on.
We're approaching an old hermit's abode that we remember as a small boy. This, in fact, somebody's supposed to have lived here maybe 80 years ago, right beside of the. I've never been here. Drove by it, I suppose, maybe hundreds of times.
I went up and peeked in there, but like I said, really scared.
And we always thought it was some evil man or some hermit or something.
That was the door right
And
there.
there's a door here.
So this was where everybody knew about, but everybody was scared to go?
Well, we
right.
Younger children were. We didn't.
That's their house. My goodness, look at that.
Look at that architecture. That's incredible.
Those rocks have been there at least, oh my, I guess maybe 100.
100
I'm
plus,
88. It was
100,
old then, so.
110, so it would have been.
What's
around
that
the
sign
turn
there
of the-
say that?
It doesn't say anything, but apparently at one time they had.
Well, I guess it must be at least 125, probably a homestead or something in the early years.
So,
They did a nice job of rocking that up. They laid those rocks all in there.
Yeah,
I don't imagine
so you think that
anymore.
that hole was actually a design chimney?
I guess
I
so.
think it would be. I think it,
I would predict that, yes.
That is
'cause
amazing.
I remember looking smoky in there,
You know,
peeking in there.
think of the close quarters they used to, but I suppose Dad's house is not.
Well, the sod house wouldn't have been very large
They
either.
weren't very big. very
Is there some mortar in there?
I don't know. I didn't see any, but
Does that look like mortar?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, it's mortared in.
okay.
It sure is. Not before or after. Full of
The sheer weight of it.
but you see, it
compresses them
didn't
together.
spread. That's quite remarkable.
You know, there's a lot of weight going this way. Boy, that's going to rest another.
There's always been a kind of a spot where
This is something you don't get on film every day.
No. Say that again.
Now, which state are you in?
I'm in the state of Nebraska. Go ahead, Don. Tell me
well,
where
I'm
you
in the
are.
state of Kansas, and that's
And you're straddling it. You're going.
And I'm in both.
You're
both,
doing both
right.
right now.
this is the old booze running road where they avoided they could go from one. They could go from one which was prohibition and one wasn't.
Oh, which one was the dry state? Do you
I
know?
don't remember that.
Kansas was, I guess.
Kansas, I believe.
I had to ask that because that tells he wasn't a moonshine runner because he doesn't know. You probably know though. They'd skirt the laws right along this road here,
Oh,
this
yeah.
Moonshine Alley.
Moonshine Alley, that's it.
Okay, so where are we headed now?
We're headed to the farm.
Headed to the farm. Head
About
towards
4 miles
Chester.
away.
For
About
4
4.5.
miles. All right.
We're on our way.
Sounds good. Let's load up.
Well, we can go by the old place the Wilson Quarter and cut south from there and go around below there if you want.
Mother used to take the girls down here on their vacation. Always, just a trip she always took them.
This was sandy soil. This road was always so dusty.
But it was more of a thoroughfare. It was a fairly good road when we were.
Well, that's some tall corn through here. There must be some incredible soil. That's 8-foot corn. 9 foot.
The best around, those good bottom. Around this bend is a steep hill. It may not seem steep now.
Not steep as it was.
But back when we brought this as our thoroughfare to grain to the elevator, and I always feared this hill ahead. Probably won't look very much of a hill now, but coming down this with weight on it with the horses, they had to hold back the weight of the wagon. You put the brake, we put the brake on the wagon, But even then, we'd make the horses hold back. Or coming down the Model A Ford, back in my days, I was scared of this. Get down here, I'd drop it the gears down and go as slow as I could. And that was 70 years ago. This is frightening. That was the worst thing about taking the grain to the elevator, was going down this rocky hill.
They scraped that off some too, you know, back then.
Yeah.
It's not much more than drag.
Well, you can tell here they've cut out in the middle.
Yes.
It probably was a lot steeper and they had cut the hill out.
It did, much deeper.
I think so, but it's graded down.
We're following the state line now, which goes probably 300 miles
This
more.
is an interesting road
200
here.
miles.
Let's just slow up just a minute here. We can go down this road and follow along up the lowland, Richard, or we can go a mile over and see that quarter.
Let's go straight ahead and then hit the quarter and then go down the lowland.
Okay.
Let's go. I want to see what's his name's place up here, if I may. Now we're facing northwest by the compass. There's 160 acres lays here, half mile north, half mile west. Can you imagine Dad farming this by horses? It would take maybe a half hour to go around 40 acres here. And we only had 12-inch gang plows, so that'd be 24 inches for one trip around. It would take days to plow one field here. And it's 160 acres, but in corn, wheat, oats. And with Dad to bring the horses over there in the morning with a wagon, and at lunch, and he would unhook the horses oftentimes, let them eat out of the wagon over here rather than go trot them home a mile or a mile and a quarter, and come back. He'd stay right here on the field, hook them up again, and then work the rest of the afternoon. And oftentimes we'd see a storm coming up on this quarter, and to try to get to home and beat the storm was often a frightening experience when you maybe an 8, 10, or 12-year-old boy with a team with a 4 head of horses.
Did you say how far away from home are we here?
We're about a mile. We're a mile and a half from home, right from where we are now. We might go a mile west and a half mile south is where the farm is, where we'd come up. And we spent so much time on the road coming to this quarter.
And we're still on the Kansas-Nebraska border, right?
You're in Kansas and I'm in Nebraska.
Okay.
And this is where we first started our combines, when we transferred from harvesting our wheat that was put in bundles to combining. And on the north side of this quarter is very, very rough, very hilly. And I remember we used to joke about we got some pretty good crops sometime because we were farming both sides of the land, up on the backside at the same time. Up ahead where these bales are, there used to be a windmill, and there's about 15 acres of pasture. And we would run the cattle down drive the cattle from the farm down here. And it was always a trick that they wouldn't go in a driveway or run the wrong way. It's kind of a scary time because they spread we did a lot of running and shouting. But there used to be a windmill and a pump here, and we'd have to come over frequently, maybe twice a week or so, check the level of the water. And the pasture lake to the far side of these bales, now it's all broken up. Is it not all broken up yet, is it, Don?
No, there's a little strip there, yeah.
That green out there, that's all used to be all pasture. The windmill used to be right to our immediate right here. Yeah, right.
That's a pretty good piece of land there, though, Les, Richard.
Oh, it sure is. Now, this used to be all pasture. All that green, there used to be a fence around. And we used to pasture any odd horses over here, but not often. But our cattle over here, all the excess over here during the summer. We never